Welcome back to Niaga Spotlight with me, Tehmina Kaoosji. Moving on now on to future affairs. We'll be taking a look at the business of green growth and climate action. For this, to start the conversation, I spoke to TS Shamsul Bahar Mohammed Noor, Chief Executive Officer with Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Corporation, MGTC. Let's hear his comments. Shamsul, thank you so much for making the time to join us. Let's get right into the discussion about business of green growth and climate action. Tell us what it actually is and how it also helps not only accelerate the Malaysian economy, but particularly aids the corporate sector and SMEs, which are, of course, a huge part of our financial ecosystem.
Thank you again for inviting us. When you combine both green growth and climate action in a single sentence, then you have to look at the triple bottom line concept of sustainable development. The principle of sustainability, which is people, planet, and profit. Profit is all about economic prosperity, but what is more important is economic prosperity is all about growth, it's about security and competitiveness. And planet is all about environmental sustainability, and people is about social sustainability. All resort to combating climate change. Our nation has a commitment to be a net zero greenhouse gas emission nation by as early as 2050. When the government introduced Malaysian Madani, it has spelled out sustainability and prosperity on the sixth element of Madani, and literally means mampan and kesejahteraan. I will just clarify a bit on what is green growth. Zooming in on the angle of GDP, gross domestic product is a common measure to determine the size of a country's economy. And green GDP is public consumption of green products, plus investment of green projects, plus government green procurement or government spending, and export minus imports. Now, as for the corporates and SMEs, their role is to produce green products. Green products are products that are environmentally friendly. They have to be green in their process, in their usage, right until the disposal, which are either organic, recyclable, or energy-saving products. Under MGTC, we certify green products and issue My Hijau certificate. And the government procure green products and services and has set 20% of their government spending has to be coming from the list of My Hijau that we provided. And the green investment that corporates and SME contributed will be calculated in the green GDP. And the green products, as they are sold to other countries, are exports. So in a nutshell, the creation of green economy would be coming from the corporates and SMEs as they produce green products. And similarly, on climate action, those products produced by the industry contribute to in mitigating climate change. And this is what climate action is all about. All will be result in lowering the carbon emission, either carbon removal or carbon disposal.
Thank you so much for elaborating upon the wider ecosystem, Shamsul. But now something very interesting is that MGTC also recently launched LCOS, which is the Low Carbon Operating System. Tell us a little bit more about how LCOS actually helps the corporate sectors, SMEs to manage their GHG, their greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay. Yes, LCOS is Low Carbon Operating System. And it is a platform that we introduced to the government, to the industry, especially to corporates and SMEs, for them to measure how much carbon have been released from the organization, where we have scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. Scope 1 is the calculation how much consumption of petrol that they use. Petrol coming from fossil fuel, so those will be emitting carbon dioxide. And scope 2 is looking at how much energy they are procuring for their own organization. And scope 3 is looking at the value chain, the chain supply coming from the contractors and the suppliers. So what they do is that when they use this LCOS or low carbon operating system, which follows the guideline of the GHG protocol, so they can manage their own carbon footprint. And what is best about it, they have a good chance or possibility of trading whatever they reduce at the Bursa Carbon Exchange Market.
All right, wonderfully said. And I hope definitely there'll be many more corporates and SMEs getting on board to, as you said, manage their own GHG emissions. In conclusion, and very briefly, Sheikh Shamsul, could you tell us what are MGTC's top recommendations for companies, industries that are really willing to and want to go green?
Okay, number one, what we always tell the industry is come over to MGTC, where we will verify and assess your green product and operation. Or if it's not green, we will become a consultant to you on how to green the whole process. And but at MGTC, we also offer tax allowance and tax exemption, including Green Technology Financial Scheme. So we have a lot of programs that we have crafted out all these years. So do come to us and we become your advisor on how to turn Malaysia greener and how to utilize all the government incentivization program that will ensure that the target of the becoming a net zero greenhouse gas emission nation by 2050 will be realized.
All right. Thank you so much for your insights, Sheikh Shamsul. It's been such a pleasure having you on Niaga Spotlight. We hope to catch you again quite soon.